Hi, how are you? I hope you're having a fabulous Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. Forgive me, forgive all this. I haven't been very well at all. So sick yesterday and a little bit more this morning. And actually nearly puked in a supermarket yesterday. That deserves a subscribe, doesn't it? Come on, give me a sympathy sub, please. What more do I have to do? Let's talk about that game last night. Oh my Lord. That had everything. That had absolutely everything. I was on the couch thinking that I might not make it. Thinking, what a boring first half. I thought it was so meh. I thought Spain were just dominating possession. I thought it was going to be one of those, like, in the second half, Spain were just going to take over and England were going to be put out. And I was like, that's not what I want for the Lionesses. Then I thought they deserved a penalty. I've been reading things online today and people were saying, no, like she blew the whistle, she gave the foul before it would have been. And I'm like, I think any day in the Premier League that would have been a penalty. That foul on Lauren Hemp by Una Bataille. By the way, she come to Chelsea? Very good player. Anyway, Spain, outstanding. They were frightening. They dominate so well. The tiki-taki triangles, just, absolutely sublime to watch. And England, it was weird actually seeing Beth Mead and Ellen White coming off just around about 60 minutes. In a way, at the same time, it felt like it had to happen. And I don't know why they weren't clicking. There was something missing from them the other day. Perhaps it's catching up. But another thing we've got to remember is that we're moving into they're in the quarterfinals. It's not a case now of doing what they can do before. You're going up against Spain. And I know Spain don't have a good record in this competition either and always get knocked out in the quarterfinals and they'll be devastated. But they're still very, very good. So you have to be ready. And one of the things I think maybe we could have learned from this game is that you have to play your best players in the best positions possible. Perhaps maybe a learning curve for Serena Weigman, who I think I'm telling Serena Weigman she needs a learning curve. And obviously they were prepared as to what happened and they made those changes. But Rachel Daly at left back, I'm just not sure anymore. I'm not sure. I think we know that she's done a great job there. But when you've got Alex Greenwood on the bench, who's such a good defender, her coming on instantly made that change. Then she did that kind of change of formation. She went 5 in the middle, 3 at the back. And Millie Bright moved forward. And when she made that change, it happened at 82 minutes. I remember I just tweeted, bring Alex Greenwood on. Because Rachel Daly, to be fair to her, has had a wonderful tournament so far and she wants to be on the pitch, but it wasn't her best game last night. Of course, there was a couple of errors that led to the goal as well by Rachel Daly. And I think she's an outstanding player. Let me be clear about that. But at this stage of the competition, you have to put your best players in the best positions. And I feel Alex Greenwood's been a waste on the bench, even though it's not mattered because they played so well. But, they conceded the first goal last night and that's their first goal conceded in the competition. So when Alex Greenwood came on, I thought it instantly just changed. It was brilliant to see that little tactical change, 3-5-2, and Millie Bright moved forward. And that header from Alessia Russo to Ella Toone, who pinged it in, I was just like, these women are incredible. And I have been speaking about Alessia Russo for so long, I keep saying it, I sound like I'm a mum or something, but I just love her. I think she's just so wonderful to watch. And there's something about her and Ella Toone linking up the way they kind of do at Manchester United and that confidence they've got in themselves and that rapport that they've got and what they're doing for their country now. I love it. And when that goal went in, bearing in mind, I never cheer for England, right? As a Scotswoman, I'm not like, come on England. That doesn't happen, right? That's fine. That's rivalry. If Scotland were in this competition, it'd be very different. But I want the Lionesses to progress in this competition, right? Does that make sense? Don't hate me. But when that goal went in, I actually went, yeah! Had my mum and dad seen me, they'd have been like, honey, you okay? But it just was so good to see them come back into the game. They were outstanding and they so deserved that moment with those changes that were made. So yeah, what else did we learn from that game? Oh, it should have been a penalty. Did we mention that? Yeah, we did mention that. Ellen White obviously got the goal as well, which ended up being offside. And that was a moment where I thought, oh, okay, perhaps. But otherwise it was all Spain. Demi Stokes and Rachel Daly and Alex Greenwood, that position I think is definitely up for debate. There's so many players on the bench that we know her bench is so strong that I think we might now see more featured as the competition goes on, because they're going to have to rely on different options against different teams. Even Beth England, I seen her last night when the game finished and they were all celebrating stuff. I'm like, I haven't seen any of Beth England. Great to see Jill Scott go on last night. Nikita Paris. I think Nikita Paris is just a little terrier. She doesn't stop. She's all over the place, and it was interesting to see her come on. But yeah, like Beth England not getting on, Demi Stokes not getting on. I'm like, maybe in time, this is what England are going to need, just for that change of pace, change of power in different positions. Perhaps Serena Weigman's going to lean on them that little bit more. But yeah, absolutely outstanding. I have to say, Spain were a joy to watch. Bon Mati, I know she's been the star of the tournament so far, and we were expecting more from Spain, being beat by Germany 2-0 when Spain played so well. Just shows you how strong the Germans are. Now, if you look at the group progression, England now through to the semis look like they're going to play, I think, Sweden, because they're going to be playing the winner of Group C, and Sweden take on Belgium. So I'm going to say Sweden are going to come out of that group. I think England against Sweden, England dominate that game, I've no doubt. I think England go to the final, and I think they'll face Germany in the final. And you know what? The Germans are decent. Very, very good. We know Spain are good, but we know the Germans are better. And I have this bad feeling that it's going to go to Wembley like the Euros for the men did, and it could all go wrong there. Not that you're thinking that at all, but you can't help but wonder. Germany will be different gravy if their team remain fit and go through from the semis, which I'm pretty sure they absolutely will. They've got Austria. Austria have had a good run so far, but I don't see them progressing into the semi-finals at all. But well done the Lionesses. Well done Serena Weigman. Well done to every single member of that squad. Such a solid team, and they're really putting themselves up on that pedestal at the moment. I don't know if you saw the interview last night with Lucy Bronze, and she was talking to like her younger self and telling herself, Lucy, I'm talking to you when you're 8 years old, and no one can ever tell you no, and you can be what you want to be. It was a really, really sweet interview. I thought last night Lucy Bronze was the best she's been in this competition. I think she's been a little bit, okay, I've been expecting more from Lucy in this competition. I thought last night she just showed like glimmers of brilliance, and she was in a 1v1 battle with the player at Barcelona, and with her going to Barcelona, I think she really showed off her skill, and she will get into that team nicely. Bon Mati I thought was excellent. And who was the other girl who was absolute? Caldente. She was outstanding. Number 8, just running amok. But I have to say, Georgia Stanway getting that goal in stoppage time. Even that, like we had what should have been a penalty. It didn't go to VAR. You had an activist trying to like pin himself to the post. We had Beth Mead and Ellen White come off at 60 minutes, which was, I think, the right call to make at the time. But just so many action points happened in that game. Then it went to extra time. And Georgia Stanway with that goal. Wait, how have I not even mentioned this up until now? Oh my God. Oh my word. That is ballsy. That is brave. That is just taking chances. And that is just showing off a wonderful football player at the same time. I heard somebody saying, look out for Georgia Stanway in this tournament. I'm like, what do you mean look out for Georgia Stanway? We know Georgia Stanway's good. But that was an absolute rocket from outside the box. A brilliant run. They gave her so much space, which was bizarre. But they just didn't know that she could do what she did. And I just thought that was absolutely wonderful. Listen, I'm starting to sound like an England fan, and I have to be very, very careful. But yeah, wonderful stuff. A brilliant game. I thought it was a brilliant game for the neutral as well. I had so many friends messaging me like, I'm watching the game, this is epic. And I'm like, I know. First half was really, really bad. I thought the first half was so boring. Might have just been me, but I really wasn't feeling well. And 28,924 at the community stadium in Brighton as well. England they've really put themselves up there. The Lionesses might be the first England side to win a major tournament. Which is interesting. It's only going one way for the women's game. Listen, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you enjoyed my chat. Sorry, I'm totally off the game. I feel rotten. And here we go into the semi-finals. Who's it going to be against? I think it's Sweden. I'm going to do another couple of videos over the weekend as well, so please like, share, and leave your comments. Let me know what you thought about the game last night as well. Bye.